c6, knight f3, d5. Okay, he takes d5. This is just absolutely insane. Queen takes d5. Now I'm just going to ignore everything you do and play bishop to g4, bishop to e2, bishop h5, bishop on f4, e6. And now castles for bishop e4, e3. Castle instantly. He looks like this is over and I'm not letting you out. Knight to e5. Now, knight takes on e5, bishop takes e5. Looks like it was a serious mistake. Spank me for not having found this earlier. Rook to e8, queen then went to f3. This is, I'm just going to keep making moves. And now the potential maybe for trying to survive this position, which it looks like he should not. Queen g3. The spiciest move in the position, but still. It's something move. Knight h5, queen back to e3, knight to f6, and nothing else to think about. Rook to a to b1, b6 was played. Rook a c8. We've seen him do this for the second time. Bishop to e5, knight to d7, d4. Now knight takes on e5. I just don't see what white can do. So take on d5, he takes d5, e6. Rook takes c3. Here the Indians are giving white a clear edge. Rook e7. The rook is about to come down to e2. Check, but and after king to h8. e5, knight f3. You get f5. Knight on c3. This is just chaos. Sorry, takes on e4. That's what. Knight takes on e4, d5. And the engine is now saying knight c3, e4 did happen. So he's showing why he is simply one of the best players, best pair players in the world. c5. Knight b3 is given as the best move for d4. And look at this. You're not getting anything on this move. Knight b1. So, bishop to c4. Letting his opponent's time pressure affect his play. And then queen c7, d3. Guess what? But as principled as it is, man, you're going to walk into the lion's mouth. For sure. G6, bishop d5, you need to study. c4, I mean, bishop to e5, definitely a surprising one for him. Let's go. Queen d2 was played. What were you thinking as he sees knight d2? Bishop takes b2. Knight to b3. So this position is sticking out like a little pinky. So now castles, knight c5. Now bishop takes c1. That was his critical mistake. His bishop was a bad square, b7. Check. That king on e6, knight e4. So suddenly this knight can go in d4. And knight c3, rook c8. Automatically, I want to play the move g3. Rook takes c3. King to h6. Knight e4. h5. h6. King to 7. This knight cannot help out on the f5 square at all. Forcing king to e8. Bishop to d2. And what? Another check. The clock. e5, knight f3. The move that the engine gives here is knight to c6, takes on d6, takes on d6, bishop to b5, bishop to d7, and then bishop to g5. Wow, trickery by the engine. Bishop takes c6. Bishop to e3. There have been 212 games played in that position. Queen to d3, and now castles. And this looks kind of strange. Takes on d6. Queen a5, right? The edges are giving white the slight edge in this position. Queen a3 is a little bit annoying. Queen c7, the spiciest move in the position. Bishop c5, and the game did continue. Queen d7, supremely prepared opponent. Queen c5. You're going nowhere. And with check, this is the tricky move, and after king to h8, bishop c5. Now the move b5, taking this piece on d7. And we see that just taking on c4, if you can't make any simple move, you're just going to fall apart, and that looks like what's happening. Accelerating the complications in the game, but h6, rook to d6, bishop to e8, knight d5, rook takes c5, knight e7, crushing. There's nothing to do after this. Check. And now king to d2, just flagged. Well, e5, knight f3, knight on c6, bishop to b5, d6, and after the move h3, which was played, bishop on e7, castles. No, is that the main line? Knight f6, right? It's the right move. In this position here, h6. After bishop to e6, d4, and already exciting action going on. cd4, bishop to d7, d5, knight e5. But after knight takes e5, and as he sees knight d2 into c6, that's why these guys are in the gym. And we see that bishop takes c6. But that said, he knows all the variations from this moment, at least most of them. The engine's giving queen c7, bishop to b5, queen back to e3, knight f5, bishop to c5. It might lead to a forced draw, queen to g3. And somebody moved knight h5. Well, now queen to g4. Keep following me. I got more moves for you. And queen takes on h5. Check. Put the king on g3. Bishop to f2. Another check. Knight on c6, bishop on f4, d5, knight f3, bishop g4, knight bd2, mildly improving his position. e6, e3, bishop b4, and he did play bishop e2, right? Bishop takes f3, doesn't do anything. Bishop takes f3, doesn't do anything. f6, and after the move h3, which was played, e5, and bishop g5, knight to f6, this move e4, go for it, try to kill. e4, you know what? Now the move g4, queen to e7. Sooner or later, you got to play one of these moves. c3, ninjas actually give the move rook to d8, cd4, queen c3. Egregious error. Knight d4. g6. Bishop on to g2. Check. And by the way, it looks like he is about to play a move. And now, just taking on c4, but king to e7. on what? Pretty clear that this is over. Knight takes g4. h5 is the only break. He just simply played. Black just has to be a little bit careful. h4. So knight f2 takes on h4, b6, and the game changes character dramatically with this move. Rook takes on a7. King e3. Rook to b7. King to f4. f5. a4. f4. f2. a7. Check. And then king a2. Another move typical of this position is queen e2. Knight move to c6, f4, b5. Okay, knight f3, take on e4. And the engines now say knight c3. Frankly, bishop to b5, another check into c6. Is there some refutation? Bishop to e2. Knight f6, castles. He's playing smooth, classical chess, e6. And after the move, d4, so knight d5. Goes for it, try to kill. Knight takes on d5. Queen takes d5. Now c4, instantly. Okay, king h1. Queen d4. Queen then went to f3. That's a lot. Queen back to e3. Check. Bam. Not as egregious as the last display. Bishop takes on e3. Bishop takes on e3. Bishop e4. It's like he's not doing too much. It looks like it should be okay. And then, whoa, what just happened? And we're back to, he took on g7. Rook to e8. Check again. So bishop to d7 does seem like a solid move here. Rook f7. The engine's already loving white. Yeah, rook e7 is definitely demolishing. Forcing king to e8. And after the move h3, which was played, rook f1, check. King h2, rook to a1. King e7, a3. And then now rook to b1. Is interesting. b4, king e7, c5, e5. Look at the clock. The excitement. e5, knight f3, knight to f6, knight c3, d6, h3, bishop g4, h takes g4 very quickly. This knight moved to c6. Bishop to b5, h6, and only after bishop takes on c6. But knight c4, putting his piece in a good square into c6. Bishop to g7. And now this current position. Takes on d6, takes on d6. Take on h6, take on h6, take on h6. Knight takes g4, forcing king to e8. Played rook e7. After knight f3 into c6, bishop d3 castle, knight to f6, rook e1, check, bishop e6. You don't want to change your body position. F3, bishop h5. He, I think, is the most chaotic defender. G4. Rook to e8. I was analyzing one of the positions that's extremely exciting. Came out the gate really fast. Queen c7 is not a move you should have missed. Queen to e2, and then knight bd7. And the game did continue. Bishop to e3, rook to e8. Knight to c4. Bishop on f4. It's kind of tricky to try to get these pieces out, as you mentioned. Knight e4, and now knight takes e4. I'm just following the engine's top suggestions. Sorry, takes on e4. That's what. Queen then went to f3. This g5 idea after rook to e1. The move g6 appeared on the board. Queen e6, and the game continues. e5. Rook to h8. On a2, this is just lights out. b4, and he played queen b1, check, king g2. All right. Yeah. So this is definitely. And whatever you do, bishop to d2. And this move d6. Now this maneuver, queen g4, already explosive. He took on g7. Rook to g8. I mean, look at this. Check, keep playing. Good. c6, knight f3, d5, ed5, bishop e7, taking this piece on d7, bishop on f4. So bishop g5, you have to be very careful what you do on the next move. The ancients are saying basically a6, rook e1. Oh, b5 was played here. a3, rook to c8. A true champion. 212 games played in the position before the move queen d3. Knight back to d6. Actually, knight c4, and the Indians went crazy. So this is really good for white, right? Rook a to b1. Try to hold up the position. When you got to play moves like that, you know it's bad. It is hopeless. This queen to c7. Okay, of course, after knight f3, I'm not even going to bother counting the rest. The crazy knight takes on d2. Frankly, rook takes c3. I think if he finds those two moves, it's just busted. Rook takes on e5. G3 felt like, yeah, again. And it seems as though he can set up a defense. Rook a4. c3. And then rook takes c3. Rook takes c3. Rook takes c3. And then rook to a5. Prove it. G6. 6 to f4. H4. Nice little move. H6. F3. And now very precise. King to e7. G4. So in this position and g5, but e5 explodes on the board. It's going to be merciless checks. King e3. H5. F4. And check the king on e6 and king e3. King's on e5. It still works, even with the king on f5. Never seen a position like this. It's so chaotic. Suddenly, rook to g3. It's going to be merciless checks. King h6, rook to d6. not as full-bloody, crazy like these positions that we've been analyzing. Knight e4, bishop to d3 was played. f5, as he sees knight d2, e6, take on e4. What are you going to do about that? g6, queen h3, and but I just want to quickly point out that the Indian has found a tactic. Queen f6, knight c4, putting his piece in a good square, bishop e7, rook to c8. So that small difference is going to be a huge difference, right? But queen h4. What's going on here? Takes on e7, takes on e7, queen to g3. It's not a table base right now. Well, the Indians actually give the move rook to d8, a4. This knight to the b8 square, this is not going to be easy for him to survive this position. Knight takes on e5. Well, rook to f8, c4, check. I just judged the position. Just taking on c4, check, king g1. For sure. But now he's doing it for positional purposes. Queen on c7, queen d7, queen c5. See? And there's really nothing to do right now. And after the move h3, which was played, queen c2, you could also play. Take a look. Let's go. And the move queen c3, taking on b7. This queen to c7, look at that center. King to h2, king e7. Now simply, and now the move d5. Take on d5, take on d5, f4. What? Just flag. d5. He takes d5, queen takes d5, and the engines now say knight c3, bishop c4, e6, d3, knight to f6, and bishop to g5. Bishop e7. The next move is going to be savage. Knight f3, queen to d8, queen d2, knight b7, a3, h6. Bishop to e3. If the Indian said it was equal, a6. Well, now castling queenside, and then b5. Supposed to play a5. Go for it and try to kill. b4. Yeah, and I gotta tell you, when I first saw this move just land on the board, I felt like, whoa. Trying to guard, but rook to a1 with check was played. King d2, so early. The engine says king d2, but still, check king e2. Didn't play those precise moves. e5, an interesting move. Rook a7 played instantly. Bishop e6, certainly. Queen takes f2, check. So quickly, so well prepared. King on c2.